Welcome to Hartford, Wisconsin, where we're just 48 hours and 38 nautical miles from the world's largest aviation celebration. Hartford, legendary in its own right, it's tail-dragger paradise in the middle of the Wisconsin corn and home to the torchbearers that keep the iconic Piper Cubs community together and in the sky. Seemingly immune to the sands of time, this airport and its squadron of J3 Cubs stand testament to aviation history and all those that have dared to dream and cast their gaze skyward. Let's take a look at the airfield. Hartford Municipal Airport, that's Hotel X-Ray Foxtrot, sits at 1,070 feet above sea level and is home to two runways. Our race course on runway 1836 is 2,231 feet of turf in excellent condition. It's the perfect place for National STOL to come and play. But don't let that welcoming grass fool you. With more rookies attending this competition than any other event in the circuit, Sodbusters has a history of nose-overs and heartbreak. Some absolute legends of bush flying and STOL aviation flying into Hartford today, and with that, some heated competition. In the touring class, reigning champion Brandon Korn continues to fight off the advance from John McCardle in the season standings. In backcountry, it's Jeff Pohl's return to the circuit in Dirty Bird versus Jerry Clemens' reversible pitch propeller and Scott Sweet's Scout. Adventure classes Brian Steck and Colin Caneva will be using their legend aircraft MOACs to halt the relentless gallop of Jeff Daly's Badlands Traveler Warhorse. Sport class is thick with competitors this weekend. Pat McIntyre and Joel Milloway's Rans S7s aim to survive the horde of Kit Foxes and Carbon Cubs looking to knock them off the podium. And lastly, the Unlimited class. Steve Henry and Yeehaw 8 continue their return to National STOL to fight back the frigid assault from the north by Canadians Dan Reynolds and Jason Boussat. It's time for engine start here in Hartford, Wisconsin. The line is painted, the pattern is clear, we're cleared for takeoff, and it's time for National STOL's Sodbusters 2024. What's up, Av Geeks and STOL Freaks? My name's Ryan Dabrowski, and welcome to Sodbusters 2024 here in Hartford, Wisconsin. We're gearing up to have an excellent day of racing, and I'm joined by the wonderful and amazing bush pilot, YouTuber, Corey Robin. How you doing, Corey?
I am doing so good. The weather is amazing here in Wisconsin, and that bodes well for the entire week. But let's talk about today and what the conditions are going to prove to be. Yesterday was kind of a challenge for these pilots, Ryan. What is going to happen today with these shifty winds?
So yesterday, if you joined us in the practice session, you saw that the winds were squirrely, and the pilots, even some of the greats, struggled with it. So we're gearing up for an amazing competition here at Hartford Sodbusters 2024. Corey, let's look at the full lineup for touring class right now. We've got Sam Lavery, who you mentioned, just taxiing by in the 206. Kurt Leaders is going to be with us in a 1965 Cessna 185. Warren Groblar, kind of excited to see him back on the national circuit today in that 1955 Cessna 180. Brandon Korn in Black Betty, Cessna 205. She's a beaut. It's going to be fun to watch. He really knows how to hang it all out in that thing. Luke Strandlin in the 2009 Murphy Super Rebel, and John McCardle in the 1978 Mall M5, all the way from Omaha, Nebraska. And then wrapping out the touring class, something that was exciting to see yesterday in practice, Kyle Bushman in his 2024 Backcountry Super Cub, a.k.a. The Boss. Let's get this first heat introduced. Everyone from Lorton, Virginia, in the 1979 Cessna 206. In race number 734, it's Sam Lavery.
I love seeing these traditionally non-STOL airplanes come out and play. It just goes to show you that you can fly just about anything at National STOL. These are certified aircraft. This one in particular, it's got the nose wheel. He does have it modified with some beautiful big tires on there. Really excited to see Samuel work it out today.
Next up, in race number 7 from Clear Lake, Minnesota, in a 1965 Cessna 185 Skywagon, Kurt Leaders.
Cessna Skywagon is a staple in the backcountry. You see these all over the place, everywhere from Alaska to the mountains of Idaho. Such a capable aircraft. I'm excited to see it. Now, Kurt is an aircraft mechanic. He has over 4,500 flight hours. Really excited to see him go up against these competitors today in that beautiful aircraft. Race number 7.
And all the way here from Florida, in race number 46 in the Cessna 180, it's Warren Grobelar.
Warren is quite a character. If you ever get a chance to talk to him, he's just so passionate, and he loves aviation so much. Beautiful airplane. I'm sure it takes a lot to maintain that polished aluminum. Absolutely fantastic, and one of our finest competitors, really competitive. He's not a seasoned pilot by any stretch. He's only been flying for, the last 7 or 8 years. But he is fantastic on the stick. Really good things ahead for him. I'm excited to see this heat. Let's get started.
So we've got a green flag from Race Control. Made his first appearance at Appalachian Mountain STOL.
And quite an appearance it was.
Yeah.
Very competitive. Just came out of nowhere. Not really out of nowhere. He's been flying for quite some time, but this is a fantastic competitor in a traditionally non-STOL airplane. This is what you see just about everywhere in America. It was swirling around and really causing approach challenges and flare challenges. Not anything dangerous or anything by any stretch of the imagination, but definitely challenging. Now watch as our first competitor takes to the skies.
Sam Lavery getting it going. Pull that tail down into the
Oh,
dirt.
wow. A really good start to the day. That was about a 300-foot takeoff roll. Really good for a Cessna 206. One thing to watch out for if you're new to the sport is watch the horizontal surface near the back of the aircraft. That's the elevator. That's the pitch control. You'll watch these guys work really hard on that control surface. You'll see it go up and down. Here's Kurt Leaders in number 7 on the takeoff roll.
He's going to pull that tail up and yank it down, and well timed on the aircraft departed the ground exactly when we wanted it to. If they pull a little early, the aircraft goes, oh, I'm not ready to fly yet. And if they pull late, well, they just gave up some feet. So.
Absolutely, and that was perfect timing by Kurt Leaders. He's definitely got that aircraft dialed in. Now let's watch. Now 3 diversely different aircraft. Now this is a Cessna 180, slightly different than the one we just saw take off. Warren Grobelar. Oh yeah!
So a little early on the pull for Warren Grobelar, and I was surprised because he is known for being very aggressive on the controls.
So here we go, our first approach of the day. If you look to your right, here comes Sam Lavery in that beautiful white and brown 206. Now here's the objective. He's got to get it past that line and then stopped as short as possible. This is the challenge of STOL. Little hot, Ryan.
Little hot and a little high, bouncing on those gear. And now he's going to get the wheels completely locked up and just skid to a halt.
Just a testament to the durability of the Cessna Aircraft Company. They build that landing gear nice and tough. He tested it out right there. And you can beat those landing gear up pretty dang good. So much fun to watch. And that is a characteristic of STOL landings. A lot of these landings you'll see are not necessarily what you would call smooth.
I wouldn't say they're passenger comfortable.
No, and that's the point. You want to get that braking action, and the quickest way to get that braking action is to set it down positively. Here's Kurt bringing it down. You'll see him full aft elevator, locking up those brakes. Beautiful landing there for Kurt Leaders. He's got it dialed in. He's going much slower than the first 2 competitors. Let's see what it looks like as he comes over the line. Really good scores for the heavies so far. Everything right in the neighborhood of, between 200 to 300 feet. There you go, Warren.
He's going to get it stopped. Watch him control that tail, modulating the brakes.
Beautiful.
As a review, Sam Lavery took off in 306 feet, which is short in a big airplane like that, and he landed in 376. So his combined score for the first run of Sodbusters 2024 is 682. Kurt Leaders, way shorter on that takeoff distance, 238, and way shorter on the landing distance, 291. Combined score of 529. Warren Grobelar, I don't believe we've even seen him really start to push it. He's at 225 and 241 for a combined score of 466. So as we head into run 2, Warren Grobelar is your touring class leader. I can't say I'm surprised.
Not
he
at
really
all.
knows how to beat up the STOL pattern.
Not at all. And these are 3 diversely different aircraft. Even though Warren and Kurt's airplane look similar, they're different completely as far as the power plant. This is so exciting to watch, especially this big 206. I mean, this is a big, heavy airplane.
Everything and the kitchen sink in the back of that plane.
Absolutely
if you wanted
amazing.
To. Yeah,
I mean,
huge.
flying a 306-foot takeoff roll for an aircraft that size is absolutely fantastic. Here we go on his second run. This is Sam Lavery.
Full throttle, flaps down. Yanking it back.
Wow,
and
perfect pull.
And kept it off. I
Yep.
thought that left main was going to touch the ground. He kept
Yeah.
it off. Kurt Leaders now in race number 7. Currently in second place.
We'll see if he brings the tail up. His technique's a little bit different than a lot of. There we go. Nice tail high. Perfect pull on that one. Kurt Leaders, nice short takeoff. Somewhere short of 200 feet that time, shaving off probably around 50 feet on that one. Good job.
Sam Lavery's takeoff score is in. He's down to 292 on that takeoff, so an improvement. And I was proud to see him keep that airplane like I'm his dad or something. I'm proud to see him keep that airplane off. During practice yesterday, he kept settling back down onto the runway surface. So an improvement for Sam Lavery. Here's Warren Grobelar. Tail up. Taking a stronger bite. Still a little early for Warren Grobelar. You can tell when Corey and I said it's because the plane doesn't just leap into the air. Kurt Leaders had that, right? He tail up.
Yeah, what you want to see on that takeoff roll, with the tail draggers especially, is when they rotate, when that tail comes back down, you either want to see it lightly kiss the ground, but not bounce and skip across the ground. If that tail comes down and bounces or skips across the ground, they pulled a little bit too early. And this is a great, safe environment. If you're new and you want to get started in this kind of thing, come on out to National STOL. Look at that.
Really hanging it out there, but too short. So that's our first scratch of the competition.
You could tell he had that really what we call in STOL a high alpha approach, where you've just got everything hanging out, all the drag possible, that high angle of attack, really settling into the pocket, but came in a little bit short.
And it's hard to time, especially for newer pilots. Here's Kurt Leaders now over the line. He's good.
Nice job. He had to come up a little bit on the power there. That'll cost him a little bit. The timing is everything. It's almost like an aerial ballet.
Balancing the forces of thrust, lift, weight, and drag.
Absolutely. And what you want to do is come over that line and cancel that lift as quickly as possible, get on the brakes, and get stopped.
I'm shocked by how beautiful that shot.
I know. If you're online watching live,
Grobelar.
it is absolutely gorgeous, these shots that we're getting. Here comes Warren. Good looking approach there, just past the line. Nice and short. Oh, he'll be happy with that number.
Very happy with that. And now I get to talk about my favorite thing to talk about with the tail draggers is that you can touch that tail wheel down before the line. We always get that question in the chat. Is it a scratch if the tail wheel touches before the line? It is not. We only are concerned about those main wheels.
Absolutely great start to the competition. Love to see the competitiveness. Now, this is the run where this is their last chance to put in a good score. So we're going to see these pilots potentially, especially the ones, and even Warren. I mean, all these pilots are still competing against another round. There are 7 competitors in this class. So these guys have to really get those scores down as low as they possibly can, and this is their third and final chance to do that.
And folks, if you're here in Hartford, they can hear you in the cockpit. Give them a cheer as they get ready to go. Your touring class Alpha Heat here at Sodbusters 2024. Sam Lavery, full power.
Full power. All the squirrels working as hard as they can under that cowling. Yes, beautiful
keeping
takeoff.
Keeping it off. There we go. He's got to get that nose down.
And that's one of the things I love about this sport, Ryan, is there's so much science and there's so many things you can learn that help your life in general. Look at that beautiful tail high. Again, a little bit early on that pole. Coming in at 289 feet there for Kurt. Here's Warren. The traditional Cessna 180 bark of the propeller. Beautiful takeoff there, right around just over 200 feet there.
215, so Warren's best takeoff of the competition. Now he's got to match
right.
a great landing next to it.
Yeah, that is a good thing for Warren. So lots of thermal activity going on already as the temperature rises. That's going to increase. We're going to see more and more of a challenge as the day goes on.
And that's actually something I think it's fair to say now that we're at our third Sodbusters. I think it's here in Hartford, Wisconsin. I think it's fair to say that that's what Hartford's becoming known for. Here's Sam Lavery.
Oh, he was pushing so hard. He wanted that one. Kurt Leaders works his approach. Let's watch his energy management as he comes in.
Oh, just a little too short for Kurt Leaders. And that I got to imagine in the cockpit, he's looking at his sight picture and he's like, this might be fine. This might be fine. Don't change it. This might be fine. It wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't fine. It was just a little too short.
And so the last opportunity, so the first two airplanes in this heat, a scratch. They will not improve upon their score. But here comes Warren Grobelaar. Beautiful high alpha approach, Ryan. Look at that.
Flaps dropped all the way down. Yeah, just hanging it out with the tail low.
Nope.
And, a scratch for Warren Grobelaar as well. And you got to look at those flags right now and see how they're barely moving.
A heartbreaker for Warren Grobelaar. He had such a fantastic takeoff.
We've got more competitors taxiing out. We're going to get them in front of you to get them introduced to you in just a second. And now you have the champion, the reigning king, Brandon Korn from Gauss, Texas, in a 1963 Cessna 205 in race number 30. It's Brandon Korn.
I'm such a huge fan of Brandon Korn. I got to share the pattern with him this morning, and he was kicking my butt. He was taking off so short, it was blowing my mind in that beautiful 205. He is a fierce competitor, Ryan. Love watching him fly. Sponsored by McFarland Aviation, it's Brandon Korn.
Next up, from Mora, Minnesota, in a 2009 Murphy Super Rebel, race 2-6, it's Luke Strandland.
Luke Strandland's our first experimental airplane that you'll see today. This is the first heat where you're going to see a mix of the certifieds and the experimental. That aircraft is an absolute beast in the backcountry. It can haul a load. If you're a hunter and you want to haul a load of moose meat, check out the Murphy Moose, the Super Murphy Moose. It's Luke Strandland.
Last, but certainly not least. Oh, not last. How did I miss that giant airplane behind him? First, let's talk about John McCardle from Omaha, Nebraska in race number 10 in a 1978 Maul M5. Give it up for John McCardle.
John's one to watch in this class. He has been a fierce competitor, somewhat new to STOL, but man, he has made quite a splash. Look at that beautiful airplane that he flies. The Maul does a great job in the backcountry. It's both fast and slow. I'm excited to see him fly.
And in the boss, the beast. I was going to say the beast from the east, but he's from Eugene, Oregon, so the beast from the west. In race number 77 in the 2024 Backcountry Super Cub, a.k.a. The Boss. It's brand new, everyone, Kyle Bushman.
How fun was this yesterday? It was actually a treat. It was like eating a gumdrop for the first time. Now, Kyle Bushman is a master craftsman at the controls of this aircraft, and he also is a master craftsman building aircraft. This is a beautiful airplane. He owns Ragwood Refactory in Oregon. Such a fantastic competitor. Love having him on the circuit.
I think the thing you said yesterday was when we watched it fly for the first time, you said it looks like it's shoveling the air out of the way, and that could not have been more accurate. It's
Absolutely
big, it's large, and it's in charge. Here's Brandon Korn on the line.
You're about to see something pretty amazing. This is a certified Cessna 205. It's a big airplane. Now watch in just a few hundred feet. Oh my goodness, here he goes.
Brandon Korn off, but not quite. He had to get a little bit of a settled control there.
So his first takeoff came back in a 250 feet. That's a great takeoff.
That's still actually a really great number. Here's Luke Strandland in the Super Rebel. Got the tail nice and high.
Can feel the thump of the engine in your chest as he goes by. That was a beautiful takeoff there from Luke Strandland.
Aggressive tail into the air with it. There he goes, John McCardle ready to fight.
You know, the nerves are a definite factor. Now here's Kyle Buschman in the Boss. What a fantastic aircraft.
Oh! I don't understand how something that big can take off that short. Now we got to see what Brandon does on the landing here. This is where he can really stay competitive against McCardle, holding it off, good over the line, gave up about 50 feet on that first touchdown and not worried about his own comfort at all as he stretches those spring gear out.
Of course, Luke giving Brandon Korn plenty of time to get out of that wake turbulence. It does give the competitors in the air a little bit of time to settle. Look at that beautiful approach, nose high, Ryan.
Burst of power. He's going to give up a lot of distance on the touchdown, over 100 feet before the wheels touched.
Yeah, he came over the line, still about 20 feet in the air. That's going to cost him.
And John McCardle passing by the Hartford Water Tower, which, by the way, if you train at Cub Air Flight here at Hartford, Wisconsin, they teach you, if you ever get lost in Wisconsin, just look for the water tower. Ooh, big burst of power for McCardle, giving up a lot at a big bounce.
Big bounce, and these conditions really proving to be a challenge. I'm looking at the flag right on the approach, and it is almost a tailwind. So what's happening right there before the line is these pilots are seeing a tailwind effect. So that's why you're seeing them come long or come short right now. We still have one more aircraft on the approach. Here comes Kyle Buschman in the Boss. Looks like he's being suspended by ropes or something, special effects, CGI. But no, this is real. This is science.
Well, and you and I were talking yesterday. Look at how much flap this airplane has. Folks, that's the control on the innermost part of the wings. They're all dropped down. There's a lot of flap. Listen to the engine holding it off. He's going to be good over the line, plopping it down for Kyle Buschman. And stop right in front of the booth for us.
Our shortest landing of the day so far, coming in just short of 150 feet.
Now we are going to go to the pits. Look who it is. It's Warren Grobelar back at Sodbusters.
Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Warren Grobelar. I fly a 1955 Cessna Skywagon. Not the best performance today. Weather was a little iffy. Winds were swirly, but we all fly in the same conditions, so I can't complain too much. Haven't been practicing very much, so this just goes to show you should keep your skills up, stay current, and maybe we'll do better next time.
Super fun. Here's Brandon Korn on the line for his second attempt. Let's see if he can shorten up that takeoff. Here's the standings, too. Kyle Buschman taking first place, taking the lead away from Warren Grobelar.
Oh, he's hanging on the ground there. There he goes, Brandon.
Showing a definite quartering tailwind.
Which, if I remember from my tail dragger training, is like the one you want the least. Luke Strandland up and away he goes.
That thing thumps.
Yeah, it's a big airplane. Here's John McCardle in the mall, getting the throttle going, winding up. What do you call it? The squirrels? I was going to say give it all the beans. The squirrels and the beans. Here we go. Tail up. Taking a bite.
Nice job. So much fun to watch Lexi line these pilots up. You can tell she has such a passion for aviation. Everybody here volunteering their time to put this production and this competition on.
Kyle Buschman
Wow! Holy cow, Ryan. How did that happen?
Brandon Korn currently in 4th place. The best score of 5:37. Here he is on short final. Working that throttle. Got it over the line.
Beautiful. That was about as good as you can get right there in a 205. My goodness, right around 210 feet or so. Just a beautiful landing there. Good score from Brandon Korn. Now watch Luke, he's already got that nose really high. He's already settled into the pocket. That looks really extreme. Perfect approach. Over the line, definitely giving up a lot of space.
125 before he touches down.
Oh, beautiful landing, though. If he could just get closer to the line, he'd have a much better score.
Here's John McCardle now. Coming in hot, but good close to the line, but he's got to get heavy on the brakes.
Nice job.
And John McCardle now with a score we're used to seeing from him. That first landing not really up to his standards. He's now in 3rd place. Warren Grobelar, 2nd place. Kyle Buschman, who's on approach right now, in 1st. Here is Kyle Buschman now low over the grass.
Had a really good takeoff. Let's see if he can improve upon his score.
Oh, right on the line. And that is insanely short. That is like almost frustrating that you could stop that airplane that short.
You know, it's amazing. I don't have any other word for it. That is such a capable aircraft. I'm very impressed. This is obviously its debut, and it is performing admirably. He's definitely going to have a massive improvement on his first place score there. But this man, Brandon Korn, taxiing up to the line right now, he's used to being on the podium. So he's really going to hang it out. This is his last chance to improve upon his score. So he's looking at those flags. He's hoping for just the right moment to take off, because I know Brandon, he is very, very competitive. So keep your eyes on this aircraft, this beautiful Cessna 205. The wind not helping him out, Ryan. We've got a tailwind right where he needs to rotate. And again, another early rotation. I think that's that tailwind. Did not, that was close. Did not settle back down, so that's good for him. But that tailwind definitely, a tail crosswind, definitely challenging these pilots today.
Super challenging, and I got to say, props, no pun intended, to Brandon Korn there. One of the hardest things to do is push the nose down while the airplane is descending. It's counterintuitive, and he did it perfectly there. Here's Luke scrambling on the roll, tail up in the sky. Here he goes, yanking it back a little early, nursing it off, and now he's climbing out. Here's John McCardle, and hi in social to Katrina, who just says, woo! That mirrors how we are feeling here in the booth. It's just getting started, folks. This is only touring. You're seeing the heavies now. It's going to get even more exciting as the day goes on. John McCardle.
Oh, tail high. He's pushing hard, Ryan. Woo!
There we go. Sub 225. Kyle Buschman in the boss. That thing is just so big. Kyle Buschman. All of these airplanes, what's really cool, you put your whole family and all the stuff you need for like a week into the back of these planes and land somewhere special. Here's Brandon Korn. Oh, heartbreak for Brandon Korn on the scratch.
He was really pushing there for a short landing, and it was really short. He got stopped in 225 feet. It will be a scratch because he landed maybe a foot or two before the line. What a bummer. Look at the Murphy Rebel. I love how he brings it in, tail low, nose high, hanging it out on the line. Here he goes. You can hear him working the throttle. Watch that elevator. He is definitely working for a living today.
And look how much closer he touched down. He did dial it in. He still gave up some footage, but not nearly what we'd seen previously.
Beautiful job. Very close to his second one we just saw in the last round. I'm excited to see that score come in to see how it change things up potentially.
Looks like he's still holding 6th place, but that was his best landing. Here's John McCardle coming in like an F-16. Got it, energy Got a lot of energy to dissipate. Got to get those binders locked up, coming in hot like that. But when you have no wind, you don't have a lot of choices. And now we've got Kyle Bushman, currently in first place. Here he comes, Kyle, over the line. Wow, textbook. And stopped. He's just putting on a show for us in the booth, Corey. He's just stopping at 150 every time.
I say it time and again. Kyle Bushman is the master craftsman, and he has proven that here today.
We're going to settle up the results with you here and do a little podium presentation for you out there in the crowd. So hang tight. And we are back here in Hartford, Wisconsin, Sodbusters 2024. Let's give it up for our touring class competitors. Challenging conditions today, some great flying. I got to ask you guys, though, do you know how it ended up? John says he knows. Brandon says he knows. All right, here we go. In third place, with a combined score of 481 feet, John McCardle. How up there, buddy? In second place, with a combined score of 449 feet, woo, Warren Grovelar. Welcome back indeed. And in first place, with a somewhat upsettingly small number, a combined score of 285 feet. Everyone get up for Kyle Bushman. Kyle, come over here. So that's a new thing. That's a new plane, doing new plane things. What can you tell us about it?
So yesterday we were 1,800 pounds. That's our empty weight. We took all the Canadians we could round up, so that was 3 Canadians plus me. We took off. We were airborne at 500 feet. That was 1,000, 1,100 in the airplane. It's something about this airplane that defies normal airplane math. People worry about weight and all that stuff, and if you scale it right, we have cup holders on both sides.
So I joked before about passenger comfort not being important in STOL, but for you guys, just some LaCroix, sipping some low-battery strawberry water.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's a Suburban. That's really what that is. It's a big Suburban of the sky.
Well, really exciting to see you fly. Hop up there. We're going to get a quick picture of our touring class podium. And everyone give it up for the touring class. And now it's time to celebrate. I'm going to walk away a little bit. You guys are lucky you're so far away. Yeah, there it goes. That's your touring class here at Sodbusters 2024. We'll be back right after this with more awesome STOL action.